Welcome to Muskegon Rising, a community service project of the Muskegon Rotary Club. Our purpose is to create lasting positive change. We've been doing that here since 1916. So, let's get started.
Hello, I'm your host, Aaron Maike, for today's Muskegon Rising podcast. I'm here with Alana Matyas-Brower, the founder of Run Muskegon. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So this is kind of cool. You have a run club. What made you begin Run Muskegon?
So Run Muskegon started because I was looking for a run club in Muskegon when I moved here. A quick Facebook, Google search had 0 results. So I just decided I will make my own Facebook group and call it Muskegon Running. And from there, I just posted every week, hey, join me Wednesday, 6:30. I'll meet down at the Y when the Y was downtown. And I just kept with it. And every week, occasionally somebody would join me. It was very sparse. This was 2011 when I moved here. So many moons later, it's a much bigger group now. But I really just set out to look for a run club and to meet people new to the area. And little did I know I'd have to do it myself.
And it's just exploded.
It has.
How many runners do you have on a normal week?
As we head into the winter, you'll probably see about 45 regular runners, but come summertime, it easily doubles in size. We do a lot of different events throughout the year, so if it's the National Running Day, we might have over 100 people joining us downtown on the bike trail.
Wow. And you start at Pigeon Hill now.
We do.
And so tell the listeners why you start at Pigeon Hill.
I'm part of Pigeon Hill. My husband and I own it with other business partners, Joel Camp and Chad Doan. And when Run Muskegon was just starting out, running at the YMCA was super fun, but it wasn't until I started moving the weekly runs around to some local watering holes. The group really started to grow some traction. People were really looking for that social aspect after the run. So when they all found out that we were starting Pigeon Hill, everybody naturally wanted to continue to meet after hours at some sort of bar. So Pigeon Hill kind of became our home, and they're there. It's part of the community. Run Muskegon's part of the community, so it's a really good relationship to have Run Muskegon meeting there on Wednesday nights. It's
very funny. I interviewed Rob Taylor from the Muskegon County Cycling Coalition, and they also started local watering holes. It's funny how those athletic activities also blend with maybe a beverage afterwards and getting to know each other.
Yeah, big time.
So I would imagine socializing, getting to know everybody is a huge part of this club, and it draws people in. What do you find brings a new person to Run Muskegon?
Well, some people come just because they're passing through town and they're a runner looking for somewhere safe to run. They may not know the Muskegon area. We have a lot of young professionals that are in town for working at Trinity Health, so they're also looking for meeting new people. So meeting people seems to be the number one reason why people actually come out. Also because they're either runners or they're maybe looking to get into walking or making some lifestyle changes.
So how far do you run on any given Wednesday? Because I see your husband and he's mildly crazy. I would say that to him. He'll do like 100K, right, on trails. So that's kind of scary to me, and I run. So how far do you go, and what levels do you run at?
Yeah, Wednesday nights, these are social nights, so a lot of people take a pause from their training to just have a social run. Usually it's a 5K, but a lot of people, if they're just starting out, a 5K is too far. Like, that's that's crazy for a lot of people. So there are a lot of people that show up and just walk. We are in the wintertime in the summer, we're on the bike trail, so it's an out and back course. So if you can only do 15 minutes out walking, 15 minutes back, that's okay. So it's a choose your own adventure. And as we migrate to the winter months now, we'll start doing some downtown loops. So one loop is 1.5 miles. If you just go for, 15, 20-minute stroll, you can knock out a 1.5 mile loop and socialize afterwards with a beverage or any beverage.
Awesome. So all are welcome. Walkers,
Correct.
Runners, fast, slow.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else does Run Muskegon do in the community?
Wow. Run Muskegon has grown a lot from where we started. I never thought that when I started the Run Club, I was just, again, looking for a club. I did not expect it to become a nonprofit. So Run Muskegon is a nonprofit now. We have several scholarships giving back to local athletes, but also non-traditional students at Baker College and Muskegon Community College. We have snowplowed the bike trail downtown for a couple of years. That was one of my things when I first started. We're kind of stepped away from that. We're now proud sponsors of the Hike the Lights at the Muskegon Luge and Adventure Park. We work with Muskegon athletic directors, cross-country coaches to identify students that maybe are in need or families are kind of struggling at the time to try and get them a new pair of shoes. It's very under the radar. They never really know where it comes from. But helping some students in need get a fresh pair of shoes, that's just for Muskegon's area schools. Oh my goodness, what else have we done? Girls on the Run, Total Trek Quest, giving back to some of those youth programs that encourage living an active lifestyle. I know I'm forgetting some things. Goodness.
Well, you've done so much. It must just be so fulfilling to see just this little run club that you wanted to get together to do all of these amazing things in our community.
Yeah. We have a really, really good base of regular runners that volunteer a lot of their time to make all these projects happen. I just forgot. We did my little pet project is to add water fountains to the bike trail. If you're new to Muskegon, we're a very popular spot to bike along the lakeshore. So we just added a water fountain at the corner of McCracken and Lakeshore Drive. So there's a bright blue water fountain there for you to refill your water bottle. So we've added that there. And also there was one in front of Pigeon Hill. Good collaboration with them. And we also have helped put the trail markers at Hoffmaster State Park. And just now, if you go out to Muskegon Luge or the North Muskegon State Park, there are fresh posts with maps along all the trails.
And we're so blessed here. I mean, the lake trail is absolutely fabulous. But if people have not been to Ottawa Dunes, North Ottawa Park, like Coast Guard Park, PJ Hoffmaster, or Muskegon State Park, oh my goodness.
Yeah. If you have not been out there, please visit. And also there's nice maps so you won't get lost.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we're a couple days from Thanksgiving, big race coming up. I'm probably going to register. I don't think I'm going to be a fair weather runner, but you host the Turkey Trot and the Shamrock Shuffle, and those proceeds, I believe, also go into our community. So talk a little bit about that.
They do. So Thanksgiving around the corner, we have the Thanksgiving Day Turkey Trot. We kind of took this over for the Muskegon YMCA. I've kept the tradition going. I'm not actually sure how long it's been happening in Muskegon, probably over 20 years. But it's Thanksgiving morning. It's a requested donation of $10, so it's very budget-friendly for families. It is walk, run, shuffle, whatever. I think one of my signs says, like, waddle till you gobble, or just get out there and get moving on Thanksgiving morning. Proceeds go to Run Muskegon, as well as the Boys and Girls Club downtown, and also we're collecting food items for Kids Food Basket. So trying to give back as much to the community. And as for the Shamrock Shuffle, that one, usually the money sticks to Run Muskegon so that we can pay for some of those scholarships that we offer.
That's really amazing. You're not keeping the money. As a 501c3 nonprofit, you're giving that out. So that's just so amazing.
Yeah.
So what would you say makes Run Muskegon so special?
I would say it is the community of runners that are at Run Muskegon. There's a solid herd of them that have been running along the bike trail with me on Wednesday nights for many years. But it's like family. There's just something unique about running with somebody for a couple miles. I always feel like it's like the movie Step Brothers. Like, do we just become best friends? Like, there's just something about running. So it's definitely the community of runners. I mean, they're there cheering each other along on runs, but even outside of runs, I mean, we're cheering each other on for accomplishing their first 5K. Maybe it's their first bike ride. Maybe it's their first time swimming. We've had someone with a really good story about that. Also just, hey, congrats on the new job. I mean, we become a little community here, so we're cheering each other on with all of life's challenges, good and bad. Could be somebody losing 20 pounds, giving them a good cheers to that. Maybe somebody's finally off of a blood pressure med because they've been coming out to Run Muskegon and just walking more, making lifestyle changes. So there's a lot of people that will come out to me and say, thank you so much for Run Muskegon. Like, I never would have become a biker or a swimmer because of, the people I met at Run Muskegon. I never would have met my now husband. Like, they're now married, they have children. Like, there's so many connections that have formed because of Run Muskegon on those Wednesday nights. So it's always very pretty humble about it most of the time. It shocks me, but end of the day, I just made a Facebook group, and it's all the people that continue to show up. It's them getting their foot out the door and showing up at Run Muskegon that have really made Muskegon thrive. But it's a community. It's a great group of people. They love to volunteer. They love each other. They love to cheer each other on, and they're there for the good, bad, ugly. That's not just running, but also the weather.
Yeah, the weather. As it's going to snow, maybe.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. I have a good friend who's in sales, and he always says it's all about the people.
It is.
You
big
get the
time.
right people in the room, it just makes a big difference. So you have a Strava group. Many of our listeners probably don't know what Strava is.
Yeah.
So why don't you explain what that is, and let them know how they might be able to join Strava and watch things happen through Run Muskegon.
Yeah, so Strava is an app you can download on your phone. It's kind of like the social media for fitness folks. You can upload your run, your bike, your swim, your little 10-minute session of Pilates, working out. And from there, people can give you a kudos or a thumbs up for, Facebook folks. You can also comment in somebody's workout. If you like that little competitive edge, there's also like a weekly top 10, like where people are standing in terms of mileage. There's also segments. So around town, there's all these little segments. You can try to run bike as fast as possible to try and get on the leaderboard for the segment. I know one of the common spots is the hill on Sherman as you're on your way to the beach. People are always trying to bike down that as fast as possible or run up and down it to try and get the segment leaderboard. I'm probably not the best person at Strava, though. I'm a lurker, they say. I don't really post anything, but I'll go on every now and again and give a thumbs up. It's a nice little app out there to kind of give you that competitiveness to, try and do a little bit more of a run. Go for a little bit longer walk. Click your watch and log that dog walk as some miles. So it's fun. It's competitive, but it's also super friendly, and you can see what your friends are doing. Maybe it's somebody you met at Run Muskegon. You haven't seen them in 5 months. Well, you can still cheer them on as they're doing a 5K at home or something.
Absolutely. I love it because it motivates me to get out when it's a bad day. You're like, oh, I don't know if I'm just going to go home and sulk or something. And you get on it for a minute and you're like, oh, somebody else went out. I got to go out and do it as well, right?
Correct. Yep. Like, oh, they did a 20-minute walk. I can make 20 minutes real quick. Let me go for a walk and see if I can do it faster.
So what would you tell someone who's new to running about the challenges of running and just how to get started? And I know I looked at your bio a little bit on Run Muskegon that you're a certified coach at a level 1. Is that right? Mm-hmm. So as a coach, as somebody who loves running, what would you tell someone new to running?
I would say get started. Don't make excuses. We're all guilty of making an excuse for not doing it. But get out there, put it in your schedule, and make time for yourself to spend 20 or 30 minutes a couple times a week just to start with walking. It all starts with a good walk. Every runner has started as a walker probably. So definitely just make some time for it and then come on to Run Muskegon. Meet some people. We've all been in those shoes of learning how to become a runner. There's a lot of challenges with the right way to run. Maybe it's nutrition. There's so many things that go into running than just putting on your shoes and running out the door. So it's a little overwhelming for new folks, but just make it a habit, stick with it. It does get easier even if you don't think it's gonna. It really does.
And somebody, you've covered this a lot already, but somebody who wants to join a group like Run Muskegon, it could be super intimidating to walk into. And I know you have to sign a waiver for Run Muskegon, but beyond that, it's more of there's a lot of people here. Looks like a lot of people who are really good runners. Mm-hmm. How do you get people to break through that? Obviously, you're really good at it because 100 people showing up in the summer. Yeah.
So we actually have dedicated newbie nights. We try to do them a couple of times throughout the season. So we just had one a couple of weeks ago. There's just something about posting hey, it's newbie night. There's going to be a lot of other new people. It kind of takes the pressure off of being new. So having those dedicated nights where we know where to expect a turnout of new folks that we can then, as a regular runner, I can team up with somebody that's their first time to make sure they're not out on the bike trail by themselves, to kind of motivate them along. But day to day, though, when we don't have newbie nights, newbies are always welcome, and we always start our weekly run with some announcements. We also give everybody a chance to raise their hand if they're new, to introduce themselves, and maybe why are they coming out, so that we can collectively as a group try to find somebody to pair them up with, to make sure they have a good experience so that hopefully they come back.
That's awesome. I've only run with Run Muskegon a few times. I ran before my family moved here because I was living here alone for a year. Mm-hmm. And I still have people that I connect with all the time. I think of Brennan Gorman, who is one that I met with afterwards having a beer, and just really great guy, and had an awesome time with him after the run. So is there anything, Alana, that we haven't covered that you would want our listeners to know? Wednesday nights,
Run Muskegon. Also, if it's not in your neck of the woods, there are a lot of other great groups that you can join. If you like trails, there's the Hobby Joggers. They meet at Hoffmaster State Park. There are a lot of local breweries that have run clubs. So Oddside in Grand Haven has one. Fetch has a running club and a biking group. So there's a lot of little social aspects where you can maybe find your niche and join. Also, Run Muskegon does more than just run. There's a lot of walkers, bikers, swimmers. You'll probably see a Run Muskegon member at your local gym or CrossFit, Pilates. Like, we're all over the place. So if you kind of connect with a Run Muskegon member, totally be a cheerleader in your corner and support you on your fitness journey. So come out. Don't be shy. We're a very friendly bunch. We love to volunteer and give back. So careful what you drink in the water in Muskegon, because we'll rope you into more than just a 5K. We'll rope you into helping volunteer too.
And give so much back to our community.
Yeah.
And I forgot totally, I'm sitting here staring at you with a Run Muskegon shirt on. How do I get Run Muskegon gear?
Yeah, so we open up, like this nice one is from Zoot. We open up our store a couple times, usually in the early spring, so we can get these before race season. And that's usually on our Facebook page that you can see the link to get some of the swag. But we also have a printing on demand right now, so we're teamed up with a local printer. So if there's something you want, a hoodie or a T-shirt, we can easily get you hooked up with a T-shirt. They're pretty inexpensive, like $20, $25. The Zoot stuff's a little pricier, but it'll last a long time.
It's really good stuff.
Follow us online. Look us up on our website. It's runmkg.com. There's a lot of information about us, links to our website. You can also donate to the club if you just want to support our mission of getting our community moving. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today, Alana.
You're welcome.
Love all the work you're doing.
Thank you for having me. I hope it brings some awareness to folks and they come out. So
great. If you think someone is doing something amazing in the Muskegon area, please email us at muskegonrising@muskegonrotary.org.